Hi, and welcome back to another Aduro learning video. My name is Kim Cafino, and today I'm going to be talking about my third strategy in your coaching toolkit, which is called Move to the Middle. This series of videos is part of something I'm really excited about, which is that we're really sharing lots of resources and tools that can help you become a better learning coach or help you transition to be a learning coach if that's something you're interested in. So there's this series of videos, that I'm also working on another series of videos that I'm going to feature some really great learning coaches that I have been fortunate enough to work with over the course of my career. And we're building out a coaching course called Coaching Essentials for people who are interested in learning more about coaching. We have our Coaching from Theory to Practice course. We are working on a coaching book called Your Journey to Coaching. And we have our awesome coaching micro-credential called The Coach. And that will be launching in April. So if you're interested in anything to do with learning coaching in schools, please get in touch. Let us know. What are your questions? What do you want to know more about? Can we provide any sort of resources or ideas for you to help you feel really confident in making that transition? And if you have questions about coaching, all of these products are for you. These are all basically everything that I've learned in, working in schools for 20 years and being a learning coach and really being lucky to work with lots of other great learning coaches. So all of this stuff is happening right now, which is why we're doing this series on coaching, and it's going to culminate in a session where you can kind of ask me any questions live on Facebook about educational coaching. So please drop some questions in the comments, because I'm going to mentally prepare for some of those questions, and let me know what you're interested in hearing about. And we'll of course have a webinar so that you can kind of connect with me and Chrissy and Jeff and the Aduro Learning team and hear more about coaching and ask questions and kind of get a little bit of a taste of what those online courses will be like, especially the micro-credential, which again starts in April, and we're really excited to have our first cohort of coaching micro-credential participants going through the program right now, and they are super keen, really loving it, really enjoying it, and I have some quotes about that kind of throughout this series. And we are working on our second book because our first book is awesome. So if you are interested in coaching and you're not kind of sure how to talk to your teachers or what they might be interested in or the questions they might have, this book has everything that Chrissy, Jeff, and I have ever kind of thought about or learned about teaching in a connected classroom. And so please check out this book. It's nice and thin and easy to read and comes with a companion website with tons of resources that you can download or print or share or give to your colleagues, because this is everything about teaching in a connected classroom, just kind of the way we as coaches would talk to our teachers, but this is specifically written for teachers, and the next book will be written for coaches. So hopefully that gives you an idea of kind of what we're working on and what we're developing here. And today will be like another in the series of your coaching toolkit that I started a couple weeks ago. Today is the third item in that series, which is called Move to the Middle. And the idea behind this concept, as a coach, you want to work with as many people as you can in your school, your building, or your district. You don't want to just stick with those people who are super excited, kind of who I would call the work with a willing group. Like, that's great, that's fun, it's really easy to kind of stay there and get excited and enthusiastic, but we need to make sure we're meeting everybody's needs. And there's a community in our schools that's kind of the middle adapters, the people who don't jump on the bandwagon, but they're not resistant, they're interested, they want to do new things, but they're not the first people. And so those are the people that I call move to the middle people. And those people are people you really want to work with, because those are the voices in your school that are really going to spread whatever learning strategy that you want to share. So in my case, it's usually technology. So if I want teachers to adopt new technology skills in their classroom, yes, I will absolutely work with the willing, and I will do my second strategy too, which is to find the problem. But I think a really effective strategy is to start talking to those really highly respected, solid practitioners in the classroom who will do new things. They're not actively resistant, but they're not the first ones to do things. And if you see me looking over at my notes, that's because they're over there on the side. So these are the people who are really great teachers. Everyone knows they're really great teachers, but they don't necessarily want to try the newest thing the first time it comes out. They kind of wait and see and have a little bit of a kind of more reserved approach to those new ideas. And I think that's really important, because those people usually have a really strong voice among their colleagues, and they're usually really highly respected because they are really great practitioners, and they are not going to be jumping on every bandwagon. So people know that if they're doing something because there's value. So how do you do this? That was the what. Work with the move to the middle people is like those kind of solid practitioners. That's the what. And then the how is very similar to the last one where you're finding the problems. You need to kind of figure out what's going on in their classroom to see how you can help and support them. And I think I have some consistent strategies that will go through every video, which is attend planning meetings, go in and do classroom observations, see what's happening in the classroom. Have a look at the documented curriculum. Are there really clear and easy opportunities for you to go in and help support a classroom teacher who's doing something that just really lends itself naturally to the use of technology? So those three strategies I think can work anytime, anywhere, and especially with the move to the middle people because they're ones who really want their practice to be excellent. Not that everybody doesn't, of course, everybody does, but they're ones who are really willing to kind of put in the time and effort to make their practice excellent, and they want to be really consistent. Once you've got those three down, I think another couple of interesting strategies could be usually these people who are kind of in the middle are already doing some kind of interesting things in their classroom that are along the lines of what you'd like them to do, but just more. Invite them to share. Invite them to share what they're already doing at faculty meetings, at speed geeking sessions. Invite them to share with other colleagues because usually they are kind of more quiet about the work that they're doing. They just kind of do it and they don't really talk to anybody about it. And people don't always know that they're actually maybe using technology in new and interesting ways because they don't really talk about it. So I would start by inviting them to share, kind of recognizing the great work that they're doing and giving them a platform and an opportunity to share that with others. Another thing I have found that teachers really enjoy is observing other teachers and just seeing what's going on in their classroom. So if you've got somebody that you're working with the willing and that person is like super keen and like really into it and doing something really exciting and engaging, and you think it would fit with this other teacher's current curriculum because you've looked at their documentation, you've been to planning meetings, you've gone into their classroom and seen what's happening in their classroom, invite them to come and observe that other teacher and then see if there's an opportunity or something clicks or something sparks from that visit that you can support them with in their classroom. And then, of course, one that does go with everything is that building relationships. So when I'm thinking about how I kind of move to the middle, one of the things I look at is each year level or subject area, I want to make sure I'm talking to somebody in all of those groups, that somebody in all of those groups knows that I'm a support person, that I can help them, that I can be a valuable resource for them in their classroom and their students' learning. So at this time, you might want to start identifying the people who you really need to build relationships with, who you don't already work with. So who are these people in the grade level or the subject area that you haven't done any work with yet? Kind of see if you can be a little bit strategic in targeting and working with those people so they know what you have to offer. So that's the what and the how. Now is the why. I think the why is obvious and kind of was mentioned a little bit in the what, and I want to just really point out a couple of really key things. I think the first why is that if these teachers, as we've identified, are really solid practitioners whose voices are highly respected among colleagues, if they try something new with you, other colleagues who are similar to them are going to want to try something new with you. I mean, and it works even better, right? Like people are going to be willing to take a risk on you because they're highly respected and really great teacher colleague did it and it worked and they liked it and they're sharing about it. So I think that is a really key reason why you want to try to work with a real variety of people, because people start to perceive those maybe early adopters or innovators as like mini coaches, and of course they can do it. If they can do it, that just means that they're good at technology. But what happens when the person who maybe is not known as being good at technology starts doing it? Oh, then maybe I can do it too. So kind of that ripple effect. I think it's really important to identify those people who aren't people who jump on the bandwagon. So that same kind of feeling for the people who are maybe a little bit more worried, oh, this isn't just like a flash in the pan, the next thing, something I'm just going to have to kind of endure and wait through, but it's actually something that can help student learning. I think people need to see that shared from a really wide variety of types of teachers and colleagues so that they know there is something value there. I think by talking to those kind of middle of the road people and the people who are really solid practitioners and who are great in their classroom, it gives a really highly respected kind of valued voice because we know that their practices are based in sound pedagogy, and having those voices share the great work that you're doing together is going to be really well received from other colleagues as well. So that is the why, the how, and the what of moving to the middle. I hope that that kind of makes sense and you see the rationale and strategy of really trying to make sure you're talking to different types of adopters in every single grade level and subject area so that you can be kind of almost tailoring your coaching strategies to each teacher that you work with. The people who are innovators are going to just regularly and readily kind of jump on board. The people who are kind of early adopters maybe need to see exactly how you're going to solve their problem. And then the kind of majority, the middle majority, are the people who just want to see, is there value here? Is this a good use of my time? Why should I do all this extra planning? Why should I work with you unless it's going to improve student learning? So hopefully that helps, and I look forward to seeing you next time. We'll talk about my fourth coaching strategy, and please let me know what kind of coaching questions you have or any kind of educational technology questions. We really want to make sure that everything we share in this series leading up to the Coach Micro Credential is worthwhile and practical and useful and relevant for you. So drop your questions in the comments and let me know what you're thinking so that I can make sure that we tailor all these products for your needs. Thanks so much for joining, and see you guys next time.